Do I hear the coach?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yes! Oh my God, he's there. Fantastic.
Sorry, Coach. We're battling some technical difficulties.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Dan Lanning. Yeah, we have some weird phone lines in here, but good to talk to you. How was the bye week?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. We got some good stuff accomplished. We were able to knock out some recruiting, some traveling during the process, and develop on some stuff with our guys as well. But it's been good.
How nice at this time of the year, like the bumps and bruises, or is it more of a preparation thing, getting the extra week off?
Combination. I mean, I think the reset is always good, and recruiting's still the lifeblood of your program. You know, thinking about what's next and who you're going to have on your team next. So it's important to have some time chopped out that you can utilize for that.
Is that the hardest, like going from where you're at Georgia to now this being the head coach? Is that been the hardest thing? Is that it feels like the roster building, unlike in like the NFL, it feels like the roster building never stops in college.
Yeah, and it never really stopped there either. But it's different now that you have a picture of the entire, the entire program, and it's certainly different in today's climate with, how transitional things can be for sure.
How have you prepared for the pink locker rooms?
I showed a picture to our team. I was like, "Hey guys, the locker room's pink. Is that a big deal? Do you guys want me to paint it? Do you want me to cover it up? Are you guys going to be able to handle that? You guys all men? Okay, cool."
Yeah.
And then we just kind of kept moving.
Yeah.
So I've actually been here before. I think when I was a GA at Pitt, I'm pretty sure we put like a bunch of like paper all over the walls, and I mean, it is what it is. It's pink,
Yeah.
So
yeah, it does seem like
good idea. Good idea by them. Maybe it does something. It means we're talking about it on the radio instead of worried about, stopping their quarterback or figuring out how to block their D line. So,
true.
I'll ask a football question then. How do you run a cover 8 with 8 guys in coverage all the time, but still be like the number one rushing defense?
What do you mean specifically?
Well, they do this thing where they're basically in nickel the entire time. No big plays. Doesn't feel like they're super aggressive when I look at them. But of course, I'm not breaking down every film. But they're so fundamentally sound. No one really runs the ball on them real well.
No, I mean it starts up front with them. They strike blocks extremely well, and I tell you that the guys in coverage for them are aggressive run fitters. So those guys show up in the run fit. They understand where they fit, and they understand how to slow it down. They keep the linebackers clean. Their D linemen eat up too. So they get free hats to the ball and do a really good job of it.
How much is it like teaching like your guys to be patient too? Because it also feels like one of their strategies is if you do score against them, it's going to take you 9 minutes and they're going to make you go 15 plays. When you watch, do you find some teams that it's hard to be patient like that maybe some people get impatient against that style of D?
Well, it's certainly a team that can be tough. We want to take shots and opportunities. You look at film like, okay, well, we're just going to throw this one-on-one outside to this, to this corner. And when it doesn't get complete, guess what? It's second and 10. So they're good at making you feel like, okay, here's this. And the reality is it just doesn't happen very often. They do a good job and they're sound in coverage. So you can't press. You got to make sure you stay on schedule and keep the ball moving forward and then kind of take what's given to you. And then if you get an opportunity to hit explosive, you take advantage of it.
So you said you've been there before. Was that you said with Pitt?
Yeah, when I was at Pitt, my first year in college ball, and it was an unbelievable environment. We were actually ahead all the way until the fourth quarter, and then they made an amazing comeback. That crowd was completely silent, and then they came back, and they were really loud. It was an awesome setup.
How much do you watch the college football playoff rankings, and how much do you talk about that stuff with the team?
None with the team, and I don't really watch it. The only time I ever spend talking about it is when I'm talking with guys like you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it matters. I mean, it doesn't matter yet, but it will matter in the end. And style points could come into play, right? I mean, is that something you think about?
Mm-hmm. Not yet. Like here's what I know: win. If we win, the rest takes care of itself. Now, let's say we lost, then maybe we start wearing like confetti and doing some style point stuff and start running like double trick reverses and that. But like right now, the goal is win, right? I'm not super concerned with style points. If we win, the rest takes care of itself. But if you have the ability to not leave it up to human error, right, as long as you win.
Yeah, it's like one of those things too, like you can't control it. You guys have a huge win at Penn State and then, get a quarterback hurt and Penn State's season kind of, goes awry and now all of a sudden no one gives you any credit for winning that game.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not worried about what anybody else thinks. Again, if we go take care of business, the rest takes care of itself. So I know we're in a good conference. We're going to be playing 3 ranked teams before the season's done. So yeah, like I said, go take care of business. The rest will handle itself.
And that's what I would assume, right? This 4-game stretch you have, because Minnesota's no slouch either. This is by far the toughest stretch of the season, is it not?
Oh yeah. I think we got a great group of teams playing. And this is where you want to be playing your best football too. So. 2 really tough road games, 4 teams that are all really good, playing Minnesota off a short week after they had a bye week before us. So there's plenty of adversity and plenty of tough situations for us to face.
This is Dan Lanning with us here on The Fan, Oregon, Iowa, here on The Fan on Saturday. You're obviously very much a we'll play whoever's on our schedule guy, control the controllables, but to some extent you can control that. How much do you talk to the AD about scheduling non-conference games? Do you prefer bigger non-conference games? Like what is your philosophy on that?
Yeah, I actually just got a text message a second ago. It's interesting. I have very little to do with like the last 3 years of scheduling, right? Because they plan these out 4 or 5 years in advance. One that I've been clear on, I always like the opportunity to play Oregon State. I think that's good for them and good for us. Especially when you play in our conference, the proximity of games, the opportunity to have a team that's going to be close, that's a rivalry that matters. But there haven't been a ton of situations or decisions that I've got the opportunity to make yet. Like we're further down the road. It's more like 2030 and 2031 or 2029. So when it comes up, I'll address it. I want to play good teams. I want to play teams that challenge our team. But I think every one of them, you're going to look differently at the situation. You got to figure out who's willing to play you as well.
Yeah, I mean, how much of that is it's interesting you say that have to be find someone willing to play you. Do you know, does the AD come and talk to you about like potential teams and then the negotiation kind of happen from there?
Yeah, I think that's kind of how it works. I mean, I'm not really worried about it right now, but yeah, that's kind of how it works.
All right, I do want to ask you then about something that maybe you do worry about or don't. At what point do you wear a jacket? I was fascinated with the choice of the cotton sweatshirt in the downpour. That's 40 degrees, and yet you still held the line. Iowa's supposed to be in the 30s or 40s. Do we go cotton sweatshirt again?
I don't know. I don't get to play, so it's kind of like my way to, I guess, to feel like I'm in the fight with the players a little bit. I don't know. Yeah. It's probably just a mind game I'm playing with myself a little bit. But
yeah. So it's supposed to rain there. I mean, will you change at halftime if it's as wet?
I didn't last game. No, I don't know. We'll see. Who cares? Like, I don't know. I want to be out there with our players on the field and go to work. And
All right.
I don't know. We haven't had that many rain games since I've been here. So if it starts happening every week, maybe at some point I should do something different. But
now, do you pick what you wear before the game, or like, do you have the choice of a jacket or a vest? Or I know you're not a big hat guy.
Yeah. There's some stuff sitting in my locker. I almost always kind of pick the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. So it's there for you if you need it.
Well, these are the sort of things that like this.
We got a great equipment staff. I mean, they tried to get me to throw some stuff on last game a couple times, and I just didn't feel like doing it.
Would you ever throw on a beanie?
Probably not. I mean, but I'm not going to say never.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably not.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. This is what people like us, these idiots that sit around, we have nothing better to do. These are the things that we have to discuss because we're all like, man.
Yeah, these big decisions.
Yeah, big decisions. Well,
you guys get it though, right? Like your players are out there battling, and you're like, okay, let's be tough. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it's like the lineman thing. Like when I played, we couldn't wear sleeves. That was a source of pride. No matter how cold it got, you just couldn't. Like we would not let each other wear sleeves. You put Vaseline on your arms maybe, but God forbid you wore sleeves.
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
All right. Have you ever been in a big snow game ever?
I mean, I've been in a few, but nothing like crazy insane. Had one at Pitt, had one in had a few in high school, but nothing crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Did you were you trick-or-treating with the kids? Did the kids even go trick-or-treating this year?
No, I mean, yeah, they did some trick-or-treating. I was on the road recruiting, so I was traveling. I made it to, I guess, 4 states on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so a little bit of traveling. So didn't get to do the trick-or-treating. But got back Saturday night about 8:30, and most of the games were over at that point. And Got to watch a little bit of that baseball game, though. Got to
Oh,
catch it
yeah,
at the very
yeah.
end. I got back just in time to catch the end of that baseball game, which was pretty cool.
Dude, well, we got to ask now. Were you going West Coast or were you going, were you rooting a little north of the border?
It felt like there weren't a lot of great options, so I was going America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was going, let's go Dodgers. And but I really didn't care. I was excited about a good game.
You a Royals
But I
fan?
just, in my mind, I can't really, cheer for Canada, right?
Right.
I mean,
No, that's right. But with the Dodgers, you're kind of rooting for Japan.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah, which is cool too. That's cool. How different is that? I mean, unbelievable play, and
yeah.
what a crazy inning. What a crazy last couple innings. A lot of fun to watch.
Now,
and
did
I'm not
you-
a baseball fan. That's literally the amount of baseball.
Oh.
If I'm not watching the Oregon Ducks baseball team, like that's the most baseball I've seen. I probably watched 2 innings this year.
So you didn't grow up a Royals fan?
I'm a Royals fan. I grew up watching George Brett, and I'm a big Bo Jackson fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely a Royals fan. But I'm just not. You just don't have time to pay attention to other sports really. Yeah. Baseball kind of gets big and important whenever football is big and important. So I don't really do both.
Well, if you're going to pick 2 innings to watch, those were 2 innings to watch. It was like it might be the best
it
World
made
Series
me a
I've ever
baseball
seen.
fan. Are you guys? In fact, speaking of baseball, do you know much about this banana ball stuff going on in Savannah?
Oh yeah, dude,
Georgia?
it's like sweeping the country. Like they sell out every stadium, every major league stadium. It's
fantastic.
It's the end all to be all.
they're coming out to Eugene next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was flipping through a documentary last night with my boys, and we were watching a little bit of it. It's pretty impressive, man. It's pretty cool.
Now the question becomes, as the head coach of the Oregon Ducks, will you be involved? Will you reach out to be a part of Banana Ball?
Well, I won't reach out, but I'd welcome the opportunity to be around it a little bit. I'm excited to see how it plays out. Well, are they going to play in Otts or are they going to play in the? Do you guys know how it works? Or are
No,
they gonna play in
they're
the
at
baseball?
Otson.
I would assume they're Otson because they play big stadiums.
Yeah, they'll pack it.
Yeah.
So
Like
Cool.
they played a NASCAR venue, I think, and if I'm not, it was like 100,000 people. So they've,
Wow.
I mean, they're playing major league stadiums. They're playing everything. I mean, it's kind of one of the hottest tickets in sports right now.
Let's go. That's awesome, man. The way this guy started this company is pretty awesome.
yeah, he sold everything, didn't he? Or like
Yeah,
life
they
savings.
Sold their house just to make it happen. So pretty cool.
Well, there's got to be some sort of Nike Oregon banana collab when they come to Eugene. There's
for
going to be
sure.
exclusive
That'd be
merch.
legit.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
We need to run that up the line.
All right, sir. Have safe travels and good luck in Iowa. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Have a good
Yep.
one.
All right, that's Dan Lanning, Oregon coach.
I can confirm he will not be wearing a jacket and/or. I loved the beanie. He's like, no.
Yeah, he just doesn't care.
No.
He really does not care.
Again, we've learned being sick is a choice, being cold and wet also a choice.
Although we called him out on the being sick thing.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's, I don't know which game it was, but one of the games here, he comes on every
he
Thursday.
had a cold,
He clearly was sick.
and yet he was still powering through this.
Yeah, he was, but it's not a choice. Like he
I
didn't,
beg to differ.
He was
Man's
like,
a-
He's
man's-
like, maybe I pounded a whole thing of Robitussin, or, like, come
That
on.
man's
Dude.
an animal.
He is an animal.
I love.
I think
love it.
it's.
He's like,
I find it so odd though that when it's raining like that,
Yeah.
you won't just put on a jacket.
no, won't do it.
I mean,
The jacket.
there's no harm in
And
putting
we've
on.
confirmed the jacket is in the locker. They were trying to get him to wear the jacket, and he said, "Nay."
Yeah, he's an animal.
He just did that.
You're
That
right.
it's the ultimate competitor.
All right, Dan Lanning each Thursday at 4 here on The Fan, brought to you by Philbrook Law. In football, you need a great coach. In life, after an accident, you need a great lawyer. That's why you need Philbrook Law, accident and injury attorneys, philbrook-law.com, your local law team.